afternoon to you, and welcome to the Sufre Mini Stadium for game number 2 in the St. Lucia Premier League T20 competition, which bowl of last evening, with the first win going to the Choiseul Craft Masters, and we were watching Lloyd Prosper of the Avatar City Blasters bowling to Dean Edward of the Grosley Knights. I mean, over number one. Over number one. Over number one, with the score on 4, 5 without loss. The very first delivery being driven straight back over the top by one bounce into the boundary by Kimani Melius. This one is down the leg side and wide signal. Steven Natcham skips around to his left and picks up. So we're into game now 2. In a while we will go through the teams for today. Grosley Knights won the toss and decided to take first knock as Lloyd Prosper ran away from the players pavilion to Dane Edward short, and Edward is back on the cross and plays it back along the track where Lloyd Prosper picks up and is follow through. As I said, in a while we will just run through the teams for you. Avatar City Blasters in the light reddish tops and black bottoms, and Grosley sporting their blue tops and black bottoms. Lloyd Prosper running in again to Dean Edward short, and Edward just guides this one, and a good stop there by Gabriel Prosper, knocking it down to his left. But there is time for the batsman to go through for a single, taking the score on to 6 without loss. I mean, over number 1. As we said earlier, game started on time with, as we said, Grosley winning a toss and taking first knock. Kimani Melius in strike as Prosper bowls, and he's just on one leg and swings this one backward of square and down to the boundary. It goes for 4. Like Prosper was pitching this one short, and Kimani Melius was quickly onto the back foot and hitting it backward of square, in control of the shot there, hitting it backward of square for 4 and taking the score on to 11 without loss. And with me today is Joseph St. Marv, current umpire, left arm spinner in his own right, and he's going to be with us for the game. So Joe, the first over, pretty good over for the batting team, Grosley Knights. Some 11 runs coming off this over.
Yes, Brian, good afternoon to you and to the listeners. It was good over for the Grosley Knights. The first ball of the over was a boundary. The last one was a boundary, but in between he bowled some good deliveries. But all in all, it was a very good over for the Grosley Knights.
Yes, and still awaiting the teams and the viewership. Sure, they are pleased to be witnessing the game streaming live here at the Super Mini Stadium. Excellent conditions, the sun out in its glory. The spectators are not as many as last evening, but it's still early days yet. Persons, I guess, making their way here. And from the top end, it'll be Dylan John bowling to Dane Edward. And first ball wide outside the off stump. And the wicket keeper, Steven Natcham, taking it on the bounce. Dylan John, one of the up and coming left arm fast bowlers. And he's coming left arm over to Dane Edward. Dane Edward Wood Island youth player. As we see Dylan John running in from the Riverside gym end to Edward. Bang on target. And Edward can do no more but push it out into the offside where the fieldsman at extra cover. Looks like Morissette picks up. No run. John again into Edwin. He goes a big drive there, and he's caught behind. This one, pitch just about on the off stump, moving further away. Edward was into the drive, thin edge taken, and Stephen Natrum taking a good catch to his right, just traveling and took a good catch to his right, Joe. And Dylan John on target this time, getting Dane Edward into the drive. Not close enough to the front foot, not close enough to the ball, getting the outside edge, and Stephen Natrum taking a smart catch.
Yes, that was an ill-advised shot by Dane Edward because we were just into the second over, so he should have tried to play himself in, and he got a wide delivery outside the off stump. He went flashing at it, and he took a finish, and Stephen Natrum diving to his right. Came up with a magnificent catch. So the Brazilian Knights losing their first wicket. They scored 12 for 1.
Yeah, 12 for 1. And Dylan John, that's one of his good traits, getting the ball to go away from the right-hander. But again, it was on the cards. The very first delivery, wide outside the off stump. And Dane Edward not making contact, but as soon as he got the ball a lot closer to the batsman, he got him to nick it, and Stephen Natrum will not drop that sort of catch. So Grosley, despite the fact they had a pretty good first over, 11 runs coming off that first over, they have lost the first wicket, and the wicket of Dane Edward. Dane Edward was just with the Windward Islands under 19 team, played in the West Indies under 19 tournament. And a little later on we'll give you some of the scores in today's English Premiership. As we see Dylan John running in from the Riverside gym and bowled short and wide, and Alex Antoine is not Alex Antoine, sorry, it's Alex? Just make sure. Alex Antoine, yes. Alex Antoine, how could we miss Alex Antoine? Alex Antoine, the vice captain of the team. He's in at 3. In the practice games, he's been in some decent form. He's in at over number 2. So it's Dylan John into Alex Antoine. This one again, Dylan John bang on target, and Antoine could do nothing more but played back along the track on the onside. No run. And just quickly run for the team. City Blasters, Tyree Gabriel, Gasper Prosper, Stephen Natrum, Jamal James, John L. Eugene, Alan Prosper, Wade Clovis, Alvin Prosper, Jemai Morissette, Lloyd Prosper, and Dylan John. John is now into the attack. He's bowling from the Riverside gym end, and we're bowling to Alex Antoine short. Alex Antoine mistiming this one very badly. It was short outside the offside. He was trying to hammer this one through the offside, not timing properly, and the ball. He just hitting the ball hard into the turf, and no run. So Grosley winning the toss, as we said earlier, and taking first strike. As we see Dylan John running into bowl to Alex Antoine. This one on the off stump. Alex Antoine just comes forward, works it into the offside, where it's picked up in the cover region, and no run. So pretty decent over by Dylan John, successful over. He picked up the wicket of Dane Edward, caught behind. Dane Edward being caught behind for 1. And Joe, pretty good over from Dylan John, apart from the first delivery where he sprayed it wide outside the off stump. He was bang on target and a successful over for Dylan John.
He has a very good over. As you said, the first ball was a wild, but after that he came back very, very well, and he had a wicket of then Edward caught behind. So a very good over, very good comeback over for the City Blasters team.
So it's like Prosper from the players pavilion end. He'll be bowling to Kimani Melius, and he just shoulders arms as this one goes through to wicket keeper Stephen Natram. And we will just run through the Grosley team. It's Dalton Polius, the captain, just back from England. Alex Antoine, Kim Shallery, Kurt Edward, Dane Edward, Owen Edward, that's the Edwards team. Chauvin Joseph, Veron Preville, Kimani Melius, Shelton Anno, and Simeon Gerson. Bradley Giddens. So it's like Prospect into Melius. Melius fixes this one off the pads, square of the wicket, comes for one, and he goes back for the second. And 2 runs as Wade Clovis gives chase. And 2 more runs to Kimani Melius. Takes Melius on to 11. Prospect shines the ball. Rubs the ball on the funnel as he runs in again to bowl to Melius. Bat raised. He's back and across and just tugs it out into the offside. Stabs it out into the offside where it looks like John L. Eugene picking up at a cover point. No run. And we dubbed this the matches today the battle of the heavyweights. The heavyweights rolling into Salford City today as Lloyd Prospect into Melius, and Melius edges this one and he's caught. Melius playing at this one, and Stephen Natram again, another good catch there by keeper Natram. This one pitched just about the off stump, moving away, drawing Melius into the shot, taking a fine edge, and Stephen Natram doing the rest. So the Knights losing their second wicket. Joe, a good delivery from Lloyd Prosper, inducing the shot from Melius, getting the edge, and Natram taking a very good catch.
Yes, another ill-advised shot again from one of the batsmen of the Brazilian Knights. That was a ball outside the off stump, and he just fished at it and it took the outside edge. And Stephen Natram again diving to his right and coming up with a 100 catch. Very good catch by him, but again, the Brazilian Knights batsmen are not using the brain out there at all, just giving their wickets away, Brian.
Yes, but we must compliment the Avatar Blasters bowlers. They have bowled just down this channel, the channel of uncertainty. We saw like Prosper just concentrating just about the off stump, and Melius having to play at this one. He would have been better advised to let it go. The first one, he shouldered down. But this one, just a touch closer, forced to play, got the edge, and Stephen Natram coming up with the catch. So Grosley Knights 2 wickets down, and that brings in their captain, Dalton Polius. Polius just back from England, where he was involved in some league cricket. As we see the man at mid-on there, sporting number 566. Wow. As Prosper, like Prosper, into Polius. Full bat and a loud appeal there. Not out, says umpire Johan Williams. This one was full to the foolish length. Dalton Polius trying to work this one through the onside and not making contact. And wrapped on the pad, loud appeal, but umpire Johan Williams saying not out. Looked like this one was probably heading down the leg side, Joe.
Yes, Brian, in the umpire's opinion.
Okay, so it's like Prosper, and he pulls out of the run. Umpire Johan Williams signaling dead ball. So as you're saying, Joe, in the umpire's opinion, but from where I stand, it looked like it would have missed the off stump, missed the leg stump, but probably crash into the middle stump. But again, from my vantage point, that's how it looked.
I saw it too, Brian. What you saw, I saw it too. But the umpire is in a better position.
Always, always. As like Prosper in again to Polius, who drives elegantly through the offside. Is running away down to the cover point boundary, giving chase. There is John L. Eugene. Slides, prevents it from going into the boundary, and the batsman cross for two. An elegant square drive there by Dalton Polius. It looks elegant when he is in stride, but of late he has not been on the radar of the Windward selectors. So it's end of over number 3 with the Knights on 16 for 2. They have lost the wickets of Dane Edward for 1 and Kimani Melius for 11. Melius just been called up to the West Indies under 19 training squad for their training for the training camp in Antigua sometime in December. Kimani Melius was doing well at the West Indies under 19 tournament, coming up with the most runs in the 3-day tournament, and as a result catching the eyes of the selectors and being called in. Unfortunately, John L. Eugene didn't have the best of tournament, and he has fallen out of favor with the selectors, as Dylan John from the Riverside Gym and bowls to Alex Antoine. Antoine forcing this one off the back foot down to the man at mid-off, just about on the circle. That looks like Aline Prosper, and they go through for a single. So Alex Antoine off the mark, he's on 1, and Dalton Polius, he is on 2. 17 for 2, and we're in over number 4. Fourth over being bowled by Dylan John. John into Polius. This one coming back into the left-hander, and Polius back and across again inside a portion of the bat, and rolling out to the man at mid-wicket, John L. Eugene. And he throws back at the stump, just underarming at the stump, hitting the stump. Alex Antoine just venturing over this ground for a bit. So it's Dylan John running in from the Riverside Gym end, bowl to Polius, and Polius cuts this one into the cover region where Alvin Prosper is in the way, no run. Just a few exploratory steps down the track, but Alex Antoine saying, skipper, stay where you are. No need to get a run out at this stage. It's 17 for 2. In over number 4, into the 4th over. Dylan John, left hand over the wicket, bowling to left-handed Dalton Polius, short, and he cuts it one into the cover. Alvin Prosper makes a diving stop at cover point, restricting the batsman just to the single. Alvin Prosper carrying a bit of weight, but carrying it well. So it's 18 for 2. Joe and the GROS and Knights batters doing some sort of a repair job.
Yeah, they need to do it at this point, Brian, because they lose 2 early wickets, and these two experienced guys out there, so they need to put their heads down and really put a good score on the board.
Yes, so it's Dylan John bowling to Alex Antoine. John bowls foolish delivery and just takes this one out, getting more at the bottom edge. I just cuts away to the slip region there where it's picked up, but no run. Score kept on 18 for 2. Alex Antoine in the district league plays for South Castries, but not retained in the home base players, given a free transfer, so to speak. As John bowls, so Alex Antoine is back across into the cover region, where it's fielded by Terry Gabriel, Windward's Volcanoes batsman. From all reports, he will be joining the Windward Volcanoes camp in a couple of days' time. So the end of over number 4, 18 for 2 is GROS the Knights. At the crease, it's Alex Antoine and Dalton Polius. Alex Antoine is on 1 and Dalton Polius on 3. So Joe, 2 early wickets falling to the City Blasters, and the GROS Knights looking to consolidate at this point in time.
Yes, and so far the City Blasters are on top. The bowlers are bowling a very good line and length, and that resulted in the 2 wickets. But the batsmen at the crease, as I said earlier, will have to really dig in deep and put a good total on the score so that the bowlers can defend.
Yes, so into one of the power plays. The 4 mandatory overs in the power play has just been completed, and they've decided to take one of the power plays. So you will can only have. Yes, so 2 players out of the 30-yard circle. So the captain just trying to figure out which of his 2 guys will be out. So it's like Prospect bowling to Dalton Polius. He turns this one off the pads and looking for 2. They are going for 2. No, Dalton Polius sends Alex Antoine back. So single, taking the score to 19 for 2 and going to over number 5. So Alvin Prospect just below us there, coming down to long off, and he is spotting number 566. Maybe that was his best figures at some point in time. 5 for 66.
Probably.
I hope that was not against your team, Joe.
No, Brian, no.
Okay, I was going to say probably you've been hit around in that as well. So this one from Loic Prosper has Alex Antoine in defense, back on a cross and plays it into the offside. The bowler cleans it up, and follow through. So it's 19 for 2, and the Grizzly batsman just trying to consolidate at this point as Loic Prosper runs in to bowl to Alex Antoine, and again bang on target between wicket and wicket, and Alex Antoine can do no more but play it back to the bowler. And those of you who missed out last night, well, you really missed out on a treat. The Super Mini Stadium was really on fire. Craft Masters and the Soufre Pitons were locked in battle as Loic Prosper bowls to Antoine. He tries to flick this one in. He's going to be out caught. Yes, he is. Alex Antoine trying to flick this one to the onside. Playing too early. Got the leaning edge. And the catch taken there by, is it Clovis or Morissette? And the catch taken there by Jemai Morissette. So the 3rd wicket goes down, 19 for 3. Not the best of deliveries from Loic Prosper, Joe. Ill-advised shot from Alex Antoine. He should have been trying to play this one down the ground, but he tried to hit it over mid-wicket. Probably a slower delivery from Loic Prosper, getting the leaning edge, and Jemai Morissette gobbling this one up.
Yes, Brian, another soft dismissal again by one of the Brazilian Knights batsmen, and now they are in further trouble at 19 for 3, and they will really have to, put a fight against some of the City Blaster bowlers in order to make a match out of this.
Yes, well, there's 2 things that can happen, Joe. They can continue to play themselves in and consolidate, or somebody needs to counter-attack.
Yes, Brian, yes. I think, well, you were right on target. Play themselves in, but at the same time, so somebody will have to really push on.
Well, we'll need to see who is going to take up that role. You have the captain at the crease in Dalton Polius, and Owen Edward has just come in to join Polius as Loic Prosper runs away, bowls outside your someone. Again, Polius just missed time in this one, hitting it hard into the ground and fielded by Gasper Prosper. at backward point region. No run. So the Avatar City Blasters, not by any means blasting out the GROS Knights, but have them in some sort of a hold. As balls this one short, and he pulls this one around, and well fielded by Jemai Morris at square leg, and Dalton Polius was coming down the track exploring the possibility of a single, and Morissette firing at the stumps and missing. Our apologies for the little distraction in the background. So it's the end of the fifth over. End of the fifth over. 19 for 3. Dalton Polius is on 4 and just been joined by Owen Edward on the field, has yet to get off the mark, as we see like Prosper just coming off the field for a bit, and it looks like is it Keegan Patrick going on? Is it Gabriel Wadwa from St. Martin, the wild card player? He comes on. So Dylan John is continuing from the Riverside gym end, and he's bowling left arm over the wicket, and we bowling to Owen Edward, right-handed batter. Bowls short, and he pushes it back along the pitch. Dylan Edward in his follow through just knocks it down and allows Morissette to pick up. Throws it across to Tariq Gabriel at short extra cover. Gaspar Prosper taking on the captaincy role in the absence of the skipper, first choice skipper Darren Sami, who was away playing the Independence Cup in Pakistan for the World 11. As Dylan John runs into bowl to Owen Edwards. Back and across he goes. And just pushes out into the cover region where Tariq Edward picks up. So it's 19 for 3. 19 for 3. So GROS Knights looking to consolidate, as we said, but they're trying to consolidate, but the wickets are falling as John bowls to almost getting through the defense there. So right up to the bat, and Owen Edwards is coming on hard on this one. Just takes a couple steps down the pitch and just brushes away some bits of debris. And Dylan John has bowled well so far, Joe, on target.
Yes, I'm always impressed with him. Brian is a very good bowler and learning all the time.
As John bowls to Edwin, and he just drives this one down to long off and helps himself to a single. 20 for 3. And we have a doubleheader today. Following this game will be the Najiko South Castries Lions. They'll be up against the Miku Trailblazers. That game is expected to bowl off at 8 p.m. As Dylan John runs into bowl to Dalton Polius. Bowls, and Polius off the back foot just tries to guide it past the man at Gully there. Prosper making a good stop and in one motion firing at the stump. Dalton Polius was looking for that single. His partner asked him to stay put. 20 for 3. And we said we'll give you some scores in today's English Premiership. Whether Chelsea won today. Liverpool, I think, earned a draw. But we'll give you the scores in a bit, as it's John bowling to Polius, and this one coming back into Polius. Again, Polius is in defense, and John L. Eugene picks up at mid-wicket. So at the end of over number 6, it's 20 for 3, Joe, and Grosley a bit on the back foot at this point.
Yes, Brian, and another good over there by Dylan John, right on target, mostly all the deliveries, and the batsman could do nothing but to defend. So again, as I said, the two batsmen out there will have to really bat right deep into the overs and try and put a good score on the board so that the bowlers can defend.
Yes, Joe, and as we speak, the one-off T20 between the West Indies and England currently on. The West Indies getting to 176, and England, they were replying there 110 for 4. So West Indies seem to be having this one under control, just as maybe the Avatar City Blasters are saying they think they have this game, at least this first half, under control at this point. But Dalton Polius and Owen Edward may have different ideas. So it's like Prosper bowling to Owen Edwards, and he's stylish. He just plays this one between the man at cover point and the man running wide from third man, and they cross for 2. This one was shortish and a little wide, giving Owen Edward enough time to just stroke it out into the offside, in that gap between the man at cover point, which is Wade Clovis, and the man on the third man boundary. As Prosper again bowls to Owen Edward, and he's in defense again. This time in defense, pushes it out to Tariq Gabriel at extra cover. No run, 22 for 3.
And so far, well, he's looking very good, Brian.
Yes, Owen Edward, a couple years ago, maybe 2-3 years ago, was part of this national senior team. Also has played for the Windward Islands youth team. As bowls, Prosper bowls to Edwards, works it off the pads, can't get it past the man at mid-wicket. It is John L. Eugene. No run. So it's 22 for 3. Grows the Knights after 6 overs and 3 balls. They've lost the wickets of Dane Edward, Kimani Melius, and Alex Antoine. This ball is beaten outside the off stump. Is Owen Edward. Owen Edward, one of the batsmen, when he gets his eye in, can be a handful. Also, the skipper, Dalton Polius, as we said, just back from England. So probably trying to re-acclimatize to our pitches here. As like Prosper runs in to bowl to Owen Edwards, as he stylishly strokes this one out to mid-wicket where John L. Eugene is in the way. No run. Score kept on 22 for 3. So as we promised, Liverpool and Burnley playing to a 1-1 draw. Manchester City certainly taking advantage of Watford 6-0. And Tottenham and Swansea playing to a goalless draw. As like Prosper bowls full to the bat, and he hit it one bounce to the man at long all, Jamal James, and they run through for a single. So the score moves on by 1 to 23 for 3. 23 for 3 at the end of over number 7. Joe.
Yes, Brian, another good over again by the City Blasters. And the Brazilianite batsmen, they are trying to consolidate, trying to play themselves in, but the City Blaster bowlers are bowling a very good line and length. And as I said before, these two batsmen out there will have to really bat long and give the team a very good total.
Yes, and I'm sure Coach Eddie George and Sheldon Thorpe would be pleased with the bowlers to date. Been bowling down the channels of uncertainty and has brought them some rewards. 3 wickets so far. Dylan John into his 4th over. He has so far bowled 3 overs, no maidens, 1 for 4. Like Prosper, 4 overs, completing his spell, 4 overs, 2 for 19. So So Casper Prosper, the standing captain in the absence of Darren Sammy. Match referee for today, Delbert Martial, long-standing umpire. So just a slight hold up in play. Dylan John runs in from the Riverside Gym end, bowls to when he drives this one in the air, over cover, extra cover. They're going for one, going for two. Yes, they're going for a third. There might be Zerani. Oh my goodness! Dalton Polius was struggling there. The throw was not a good one, and Stephen Natrum not able to gather cleanly, and Dalton Polius survives. But good shot there from Owen Edwards, hitting this one through the cover region. Tariq Edwards doing some chasing, but the throw back to keeper Natrum was not a good throw, and Dalton Polius survives.
Yes, before a while I thought well he would have been run out, but he was lucky that the throw wasn't a good one. So if he had run out, it would be further trouble for them.
Yes, John, I could just tell you, I was just distracted a bit there. We have blessing us with her presence is Senator Fortuna Belrose at the ground with us. As we see, Dalton Polius cut this one behind point. Alvin Prosper doing some leg work there as the batsmen cross for second run, taking the score on to 28 for 3. As I was saying, Senator Fortuna Belrose just paying us a short visit. So she's at the ground, taking in some of the action. Last evening, we saw Honorable Bradley Felix and the representative for Choiseul. He was also there. And the representative for Soufre was Stanislas. He was also here giving support to his team. So it's Dylan John running in to bowl to Dalton Polius, and he drives this one. Couple bounces down to the man with the long one, and it beats him. It beats the man that's Prosper. Get an awkward bounce there, and the batsman taking advantage of that and coming back for the second run. So 30 for 3, as the saying goes, one by one folds the basket. So the Knights are trying to fold the basket. They're 30 for 3 in over number 8. Still a lot of overs to go. As Dylan John runs in and just pulls out of the run. Maybe something's not right. Umpires for the game, John Mathre presiding, and Johan William at square leg. Father and son, he has been told. John Bowles shot delivery from Dylan John. A pretty dead track. Tennis bounce there. Going through to keeper Natrum. Polius having a little fling at it, not making contact. Dylan John into its final over of his spell. 3.4 overs, 1 for 11. Not bad figures. Grosley Knight 30 for 3. As Dylan John runs into bowl to Polius, and he drives back along the track and hits the stumps. Being robbed there of maybe 2 or 3 runs. Dylan John not getting a hand on, but Dalton Polius hitting this once just a little too straight, and who knows, a little to the left or right of the stumps could have gotten him 4 runs.
Yes, so he robbed himself of some runs there, Brian.
So it's Dylan John, final ball of his spell, bowling to Dalton Polius. Bowl outside the outside, Polius on the back, cutting this one into the cover region. Doesn't beat the man there at backward point. John Polius was charging down the wicket looking for the single. When Edward was not interested, and Polius having to scamper back to his ground. So at the end of over number 8, Grosley going steadily along. If you could say sluggishly along, you're on 30 for 3, just about 3.75 runs per over.
Yes, Brian, and so They are still in some trouble, but they will have to really up the tempo because the overs are slowly going away. And with the introduction of the new bowler, Alvin Prosper, who is a very experienced campaigner, so I think the Brazilian batsmen will have their works cut out.
Yes, so Alvin Prosper, bowling chain, and first delivery, a slow cutter. And Aaron Edward just missing this one outside the off stump. Alvin Prosper, as we said earlier, spotting the number 566. As we see the arrival of the Najiko, is it? No? Miku Trailblazers just making their way into the stand to our left. They're up next as Alvin Prosper bowls to Aaron Edward. Just turn this one off the pad. Let's see if there's any bat or if it's just pad. You go for a single. Yes. Yeah, umpire Johan William just raises the leg and taps it, indicating the leg by. $31 for 3. 31 for 3. So, field just changing over to accommodate the left and right hand combination. Alvin Prosper, as we said, 566 on the back. We're not quite sure what stands for as yet, but Prosper bowling around the wicket now to Dalton Polius, as again he pulls out as umpire Johan Williams signals dead ball. Our scorers today: Junior DeRose of Miku, and Ashton Edward also from the South Castries, Sarot area, and Prosper bowls to Polius, and Polius in defense. No run, 31 for 3. Crowd, can't shout too much for the crowd compared to what we saw last night, but few persons have formed themselves into the ground. They are there to witness this game, as this one is beaten outside the off stump there. Polius playing a little naughty shot there, trying to run this one down to third man there. Alvin Prosper, seasoned campaigner, gentleman has represented the senior national team. So I think earning the title of a senior or veteran player. I think he's a veteran colleague, playing mate of yours, Joe.
Yeah, we play in the same team, the Central Castries veterans team. Yeah.
Okay, so Prosper bowls him and going for a quick run. He throws and he hits the stump, and the appeal goes up. The Avatar Seatbelts, they are celebrating. They are celebrating, but umpire Johan Williams just picks up the bails and says not out. Yes, Joe, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, from my vantage point, Brian, I think he was in.
Okay, so from Joe's eagle eye, thinks that he was in. We might have to just take a quick look at the monitor to see whether he was in or not. So just an update on the game. England versus the West Indies. West Indies 176 for 9. England 127 for 7 in 15.5 overs. So West Indies seem to be on their way. They need 50 of 24 balls, I'm told. So West Indies pretty much on their way to victory, as we have a slight break in play. somebody's receiving some attention out there. Yes, no, just wicketkeeper Natram just changing the glove or calling for the helmet. Just calling for the helmet. Probably spinner is going to be introduced. Yes, it's Jamal James being handed the ball. Jamal James bowls optimistic off spinners. So he will be taking up the attack from the players' pavilion end. So some changes being made to the field. So that at this point, the score at the end of 9 overs, Joe, it's 32 for 3. So the GROS Knights creeping along, as we might want to say, creeping along.
Yes, Brian, but they're still behind the 8 ball, so they will have to try something, Brian, to push that score along, because the City Blaster bowlers are bowling very, very tight and very good, so they will have to find a way to score some runs out there today.
Well, maybe the opportunity has just come their way as Jamal James bowls short, and he hits this one in the air over extra cover. They've gone for one, and they've gone back for a second as Dylan John picks up now and throws one bounce back to the keeper. So as I was saying, Joe, maybe with the introduction of Jamal James, the two batsmen might take a few more chances. They might think that is about the bowler they probably would need to target.
Yes, Brian, that's what they should do, because the pace bowlers bowl very well. They bowl a very good line and length, and now that the spinners are on, they will have to take their chances and try and push that score along. As it will be Alin Prosper who will pick up the attack from the top end.
I think Joe, we just probably missed it, but Alvin Prosper had to go off, and Jamal James was just completing the over. So remember, we said earlier on there was a break in play. I did see the physio run onto the field, but at the same time we were updating you on the West Indies England game. But just seeing what has just gone on there, Alvin Prosper seemed to have sustained some sort of injury. He's gone off the field, and Jamal James completing the over.
Okay, so probably at the weight when you spoke about earlier on, probably cause that injury.
Well, maybe not the weight, but maybe the fitness problem. Yeah. Alvin maybe not as fit as he used to be. You probably know it's not veterans cricket going on right now. It's serious cricket, as his brother Aline Prosper takes up from and he short and he pulls this one around, one bounce of man on the mid-wicket boundary, and Dalton Polius should have done a lot better if that, Joe. That was a half tracker there, and he tried to dispatch it, but probably taking high up on the bat and almost being caught on the mid-wicket boundary there.
Well, two mistakes there. He got a loose delivery. He should have put that away, and then they should have run the first run fast so that they could capitalize on taking the second one.
Yes, another cardinal error. Always run the first run fast. As bowls to Owen Edwin is stylishly behind this one. So the score on to 31. 35 for 3. As Prosper into Owen Edwin, he backs up and cuts this one into the cover region as the fieldsman there runs around doing some good work there, restricting the batsman just to one. And as we were saying, Joe, the batsman probably need to run the first run hard, because any little fumble would afford them the opportunity to run two.
Yes, Brian, because T20 cricket is a very fast-paced game, and whatever opportunity you get to score a single, you must grab it.
Yeah, Prosper again bowls, and Prosper is down, and this other got 6 runs. 6 runs over long on. Polius just stepping out to meet this one and hit it over the man at long on into the Riverside gym end for 6. So Joe, wasn't too bad a delivery there, just that Dalton Polius using his feet there and depositing this one over long on for 6.
Yes, that was a magnificent shot by the captain, Polius. He used his feet very well and hit it for 6. But that's what they will have to do from now on, Brian, because they are behind. And with the spinners in, I think they have a good opportunity now to push the score along.
Yes, Joe, and if I'm not sure if you took in some of the game last night, but what we saw last night when the spinners came on, they really put a stranglehold on the batters, on the batsmen. The ball was spinning a bit, and both sides when they batted, they found a little difficulty in negotiating the spinners. Well, but it's still early days yet. Dalton Polius, we know Dalton playing at local level. I mean, he's one of the better batters to come out over the last couple years. And as you saw in this last shot, made it look very easy. Couple steps down and just easily just timing and hit it over long on for 6.
Yes, Brian, well, he's a talented player, but we'll have to convert the 30s and the 40s into big scores.
Yes, talent, I would say, is not all. Talent, just saying you're talented doesn't put runs on the board, or doesn't tally up the wickets.
Exactly.
So as we wait for the replacement ball, there's a slight break in play. 42 for 3. And Joe, as I was saying last night in the game, there was some entertainment when the Craft Masters batted. Christian Shalry entertaining 48, and when the Soufre Piton batted, we had Pamphil, Sanjay Pamphil, really blazing the trail, getting to 49. And the dying moment of the game when the Craft Masters team, the dead and buried, they were able to pull this one out of the bag and win by some 12 runs.
Well, so that's good news for the tournament because the patrons are getting value for their money, Brian.
That's right. And in T20, that's what you would want to see, the patrons getting value for the money. As we speak about patrons getting value for the money, we can see the Piton girls to our left are probably just warming up. I think from last night they've been warming up, Joe. I don't know when they're going to get warm. They've been warming up from last night. But with the sun out, I mean, it shouldn't take too much to get them warm. The music is blaring in the background. So maybe, Joe, with your presence, you might be able to put in a word and see something happening.
Yes, Brian. Well, with me around, they will take no time but to warm up, Brian. No time. No time.
Okay, so just an update on the game: West Indies versus England. West Indies 176 for 9. England 143 for 8 of 17.4 overs. So West Indies seem to have this one in the bag, Joe. What do you think?
Yeah, but as you know, Brian, cricket is a funny old game. So England can still win.
Yes, a game of shifting fortunes and glorious uncertainties.
That's right.
As we said earlier, we saw the Senator Belrose as she's in the stands, actually taking in some of the game. So still a break, a very long break, as they try to retrieve the ball. So the replacement ball. Have they got the replacement ball, or they had to doctor a new ball, Joe?
But don't you think, Brian, that they're taking a little bit too long now?
Well,
a little time.
Well, it's up to the umpires to umpires there to make sure things happen in good time. Just in front of us, we can see the coach of the Najiko South Catches Lions, John Eugene, and also to our left, the captain of the Miko Trailblazers, Gary Mathre, also of the Jamaica Talawas. So he's also in the house. Up next, as this ball, Polius just beaten outside the off stump there, taken by keeper Natram, 42 for 3. As it's Prosper, Aline Prosper to Polius. This one outside the off stump. Polius not being able to get back onto it through to the keeper. So good comeback from Prosper after being deposited over long on for 6. Back with 2 dot balls and the score 42 for 3. Polius on 16, Alwyn Edward on 10.
Yes, Brian, yes, as you just said, after he was being hit over long on for 6, he came back with 2 dot balls. So that will do good for his team. But Dalton, the Polius, played a naughty shot outside the Austin at that last delivery, Brian. A ball wide outside the Austin, and that's a bit bad shot.
Yes, we tend to see that from some of the left-handers trying to run that ball, and from the right-handers as well. And that format of the game, trying to run the ball down to third man, where they think it's easy runs, and sometimes it's what we call a getting out shot.
Yeah, because in my opinion, if you go in hard, go hard, or if you leave it, just leave it.
So Joe, in your days as a player, were you one of those who played that naughty shot, trying to work it on the third man?
Not often, Brian. Not often.
Okay, all right, Joe. So there is another delay. Not quite sure what for this time, but you see the umpires coming off the field. The umpires are coming off the field. Umpires have just come off the field. So we will let you know in a bit what is the problem. We'll send our roving reporter down to find out first and what is the delay. Joe, probably you could take a quick rundown to
no
see
problem, Brian. I'll do that.
What the problem is, as we have a break in play. England 148 for 9, and the West Indies almost home. And as we said to you earlier, the English Premiership, Liverpool and Burnley playing to a 1-1 draw. Man City really manhandling Watford 6-0. And Tottenham and Swansea playing to a goalless draw. So as the crowd is continuing to grow as we speak. Yes, little break in play there. The report there is getting the proper replacement ball. The umpires had to go dig deep into the library to get a ball 10 overs old. I'm sure Joe would have been happy to be knocking on his side for 10 overs and then throw that ball in. So it's Jemai Morissette, a new bowler coming in from the players' pavilion end. And he'll be bowling to Owen Edward, who is not out on 10. Partnership of 23 so far.
Valuable one, yeah?
Yes, it's been slow going for the Knights as it bowls full to the bat, and Owen Edward just not taking advantage of that, just works it out to mid wicket where Jonel Eugene picks up a Joe, a bit of a gift, not taking advantage of there.
Yes, Brian. Mostly all the batsmen have gotten gifts and they are not making full use of it.
Yes, gifts in September. Yeah. Is that too early for gifts? Christmas is in December. As Morissette bowls short and wide, and Owen Edward trying to cut this one to the offside, goes over the bat, and another dot goes into the scorer's book. So Grosley struggling around, really trundling, 42 for 3 in the 11th over. As Jemai Morissette turns on, runs in to bowl to Owen Edward, and he drives stylishly into the extra cover region, but well fielded by the man there at the Wadwa, the wildcat player out of St. Kitts, St. Martin, sorry, out of St. Martin. There are two wildcat players out of St. Martin here, Wadwa and Daniel Doran of the Najgo South Castries Lions, as Jemai Morissette into Owen Edward, and it goes up. This one goes off the edge, and off the edge it goes, and the guy down at third man Prosper didn't have a chance. It went down as like a tracer bullet off the edge. It flew off the edge, and Prosper, and again with his weight, Joe will not have had time to come across to stop this one.
Not at all, and that's what I was talking about earlier. If you're going at the ball, go at it hard, or if you leave it, just leave it alone. So he went at it hard, he took the edge, and the result was 4 runs.
So takes his count to 46 for 3, and Morissette again into Owen Edward, and he's bowled him! He's bowled him. This one seemed to have stopped a bit, a slower one there, and Owen Edwards was shaping up to hit this one to the onside, missed all ends up, played a whole 2 days too early, and was bowled by Jemai Morissette.
Yes, but well, so somebody had to go after the bowling. But what I observe, Brian, the ball ricocheted from his body and fell onto the stumps.
Yes, well, as we said, it seemed to have been a slower delivery from Morissette, and Owen Edward played 2 days too early, and the ball came off the body and onto the stump. So another wicket goes down, 4th wicket goes down, 46 for 4 in the 11th over.
Yes, Brian, another wicket again. So the Brazilian Knights have been fed back again, and the City Blasters, they are a very happy bunch out there, because they realize they have the game in control.
Yes, the City Blasters in total control now, at least of this inning, having the Knights 46 for 4 in the 11th over. And just to update you, England just been dismissed for 155. So the West Indies have pulled this one off, winning by some 21 runs. So England, West Indies winning the one-off T20.
So that's a good victory for them. So it will do them well to going into the one days.
Yes, a good victory for the West Indies team. But here, back to live action, is Morissette bowling to the new batsman Siobhan Joseph, as he plays back on a cross, and ball going to Wadwa. The St. Martin wildcard player from St. Martin. No run. Seems a lot bubbly there. Joe and Wadwa seem to be, despite all what has happened so far over in his country with the hurricane ravaging St. Martin, he looks a bubbly figure.
Yeah, Brian, and he's out here in St. Lucia in the Caribbean, bright sunshine, and he's enjoying it. And his team is doing very well out there in the middle, so he has every reason to be happy.
Yes, so it's the Knights being further strangled, further pegged back, 46 for 4 in 11 overs. And the Avatar City Blasters, CB, who is handling the business down here, is here to witness the game, and I'm sure he's pleased at what he's seen so far. As this delivery, Polius drives this one down to long off and picks up a single, takes him on to 16, 17, 47 for 4. So it's Siobhan Joseph out of the community of Babono, and has another talented young player, has been in the trials a couple times, not breaking through to the senior team as yet, as Prosper bowling round the wicket, bowls with Joseph, and he's back and just stabs this one out in front of him, and the bigger brother Prosper, at first slip thought they had Joseph there, as Aline Prosper bowls to Siobhan Joseph outside the house. I mean, just watches it go into the glove of the keeper, Stephen Natram.
Yeah, so Alan Prosper is bowling a very good line and length, and he's not giving the batsman the whiff to free his hands.
Yes, and it's somebody else off the field because Prosper is back on, and Waldwa is on. And again, this one, Joseph just digging this one out, going perilously close to the leg stump. So he'll be well advised to play more on the front foot there, as Prosper bowls again, and he drives this one into the offside, where it's fielded by Clovis. Yeah, Wade Clovis. Clovis, another experienced cricketer who has played for the national senior team, as Prosper bowls to Joseph on this one, thinking of cutting to the offside, but in the end allowed it to go through to keeper Natram. So a goodish over from Aline Prosper. We're restricting the batters there, and the score on to 47 for 4.
Yeah, Joseph was in all sorts of trouble there. Alan Prosper bowling very tight and not giving him the room to free his hands. And so the Avatar City Blasters are doing a very good job there in the middle and really tightening the screws on the Brazilianized batsmen.
Yes, the Avatar City Blasters continuing to tighten the screws, as we say, Joe. But I must say we have some good weather down here, and we are employing all the persons in the vicinity of the ground to come on out to watch some cricket, as Morissette bowls to Polius, and he drives at this one, beaten outside the off stump. Stephen Natram gloves this one. So the skipper is still out there, and we know the skipper is a talented individual, has an array of shots, as it's Morissette again and pulls out of the last moment, and dead ball signaled by umpire Johan William.
But what I like about Morissette, he's using his brain in his bowling, Brian. He's producing a slower one, he's giving a faster one, he's bowling very well.
Short, and he guides this one to the man back of the point. That's Jonel Eugene, and no run. No, that's Wadwa. Yes, Wadwa in the thick of things again. So no run, 47 for 4. And in the modern day game, Joe, you need to have that in your repertoire. Different deliveries, slower one, quicker one, the cutter, the slider. So Morris at bowls, and this one moving away, and he just guided into the backward point region where Gasper Prosper picks up more in a gully position there, deepish gully, and Gasper Prosper picks up. Joe, in your repertoire, what do you have? Do you have the Chinaman?
Yeah, I have all. I have the googly, I have the Chinaman, I have the straight one. I have all of them, Brian.
Okay, that is nice to hear. So, as Morissette in again to Polius, foolish delivery, and he strokes it into the cover region, but they'll only get a single. As Wadwa again is in the thick of things, running back and restricting the batsman to one. Any chance of there being veterans cricket this season, Joe?
Oh, well, I met Gus Logie and Polius, and he told me there is no veterans cricket this year.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, very sad.
Very sad. Well, I think we might have to see what can be done about it.
Yeah.
Maybe the SPL can be spoken to and see what happens.
Yes, I'll be very happy.
As Morissette bowls to Joseph, and he off the edge, it goes down to third man, and he's out. He's run out. My goodness, he's run out. Joseph played this one down to third man. They were running helter-skelter for the second run, but a good throw from the man down there at third man, and I think it was a direct hit. And that is what beat Siobhan Joseph. He was not stretching out in the textbook style, reaching for the crease. He was not, and sort of taken by surprise there. Direct hit, and Siobhan Joseph has to go, being run out for Siobhan Joseph being run out for one.
Yes, again.
So another wicket falls, Joe.
Yes, again another soft dismissal again, because from my vantage point, Brian, I felt that he was in trouble because he didn't really run fast and drag the bat on the ground, and he was taken by surprise with a direct hit. So he didn't apply so the basics.
The basics, right? Yes, the basics was lacking there. And the man down at third man is Arlene Prosper, and Arlene Prosper is known to have John L. Eugene, the throw coming from John L. Eugene, as Morissette pulls out again from the run-in, and umpire Williams signaling dead ball. But John L. Eugene is one of the better fielders as well. Good throw coming in from him, and running out a young Joseph. As Morissette is in again and this one is off the edge down to third man, but this time the fieldsman is better positioned down there, and single to the new batsman there, who looks like Kurt Edward has come in. Yes, it's Kurt Edward, so he's off the mark. And 50 for the Knights, up 50 for 5 in the 13th over. 50 for 5 in the 13th over. And I'm sure Coach Keith Shallery and assistant coach Alton Crafter will not be too happy with the proceedings at this point.
Oh yes, Brian. If I know these two gentlemen, I know they are not happy at all, and the Brazilian Knights are not playing good cricket there at all. The batsmen are just giving their wickets away.
Yes, but the captain is out there. Dalton Polius is out there, and Kurt Edward is no rabbit with the bat. We know Kurt Edwards to have played some very good innings, and so down the leg side and wide, and a small bit of stumping there by wicketkeeper Natram, but it's a wide, and our scorer to my left, Ashen Edwards, known to be somewhat of a keeper herself for the national senior women's team, indicating that she probably would have just flicked one day. So it's Prosper to Edwards, and this one, Edwards in a bit of trouble. just goes out into the offside. No run. 51 for 5. As another change is made, Prosper into Edwards, and again Edwards seemed to be in some trouble there. From my vantage point, didn't seem to come off the bat, but looked to be heading down the leg side.
Yeah, but he's not playing straight, Brian. He's playing across the line of the ball.
That's right. And this time he hits it on to mid wicket. They're looking for 2, but it's Jonel Eugene there, or Wadwa. Wadwa is the one picking up, running in from the square leg boundary, and the batsman restricted to 1. Score on to 52 for 5. 52 for 5, and the 14th over. So still pretty. Yeah, as he Polius uses his feet and tries to hit this one over the top, peels off the edge, the outer edge, and just goes wide of the man at long off, and they pick up 2. So does that mean that the skipper is going to take things in his own hands now?
Yes, Brian. Well, he has no choice.
So it's Prosper to Polius, and he could do nothing more but defend. Back along the track it goes, and Prosper picks up. So the end of over number 14, the GROS Knights are battling on. They are 54 for 5, Joe.
Yeah, another good over again by Alan Prosper, and the GROS batsman, the GROS Knights batsmen are under a lot of pressure, but the captain is still out there. He's a very good player, and then he'll really have to bat well with the rest of the batsmen, but to put a sizable total on the board, Brian.
Yes, but Joe, what we see, what we're not seeing happening is, yes, the pressure is on, but the batsmen are trying to at least to rotate the strike, try to break things up,
Yeah.
Just looks like you're just going through the motion.
Yeah. Well, you are making a very good point.
As Maurice bowls this one short, and Edwards just taps this one into the offside and calls Polius through for the single. Maurice trying to effect the run out, but batsmen getting home. So 1 more to the total. So probably Joe, they heard us from out there.
Yeah. So they will really need to try these things more often, and then look for the odd boundaries.
Okay, that's right. Yeah. Last night we were saying the past score here is about 145, 150.
Okay. As a matter of fact, it's the first time that I'm coming but to this stadium.
It's through him there. This Morissette, slower delivery there, and committing Polius to the front foot and going right through him. And luckily not to get an edge there, Joe.
Yes, and another good again from the bowler, and the batsman was in all sorts lucky, but to be still there.
Yes, so Morissette, as we've been saying, is mixing it up quite a bit.
I'm impressed with him.
Yeah. Morissette into Polius, and he drives this one into the covers and picks up a single. Tari Gabriel runs around, picks up. So 1 more run to the total, 56 for 5. Yes, Joe. So 56 for 5. So the Castries, the Avatar City Blasters continuing to keep a stranglehold on the GROS Knights. 56 for 5 in the 15th over as Edwards.
Yes, again, Brian, another very good over by the Avatar City Blasters bowlers. Morissette, he bowled a very good over, mixing the deliveries, and the batsman just cannot get him away. So the GROS Knights, they are in all sorts of trouble, and I don't know, but the captain is out there, and he'll really have to bat the rest of the overs and try and put something substantial on the board.
Yes, so it's Aline Prosper to the captain, and he is down the track and then having to check the shot at the last moment. It goes out, squirted out into the offside, and they go through for a single. And as we know, Kurt Edwards is one of the batsmen who can hit the cricket ball. So let's see if he's going to entertain us here. Next couple overs, if he remains. As Prosper into Edwards. He's back and turns this one off the body with no run. As Morissette does the fielding at square legged position, just to the left of the umpire. As Prosper runs, makes a field change, he puts himself in a square leg position. .57 for 5. Grosley Knights batting first. So Alan Prosper bowling from the Riverside G-men. He bowls to Edwards, and he turns it off the body and to Morissette at mid wicket, and he fires a return back to keeper Natram, seeing Edward just couple steps out of his ground. So it's Prosper again to Edwards. He's bowled him! He's bowled him! Edwards, this one was pitch short, and Edwards was on the back foot looking to play to the onside. Joe, this one probably kept it a bit low, and Edwards not making contact, breaching his defense and being bowled.
Yeah, it kept low, but it also came back from outside the off stump, and there was a gap between the bat and pad, and the stump was rocked. So another wicket going down for the Brazilian Knights, and they're in all sorts of trouble. But Pollard, the nickname of Pollard, and Giddens is going out, and if he can really push it for the Brazilian Knights, I think the crowd here will have some entertainment.
Yes, and the dismissal of Edwards, we could see from the time he came in, he never looked settled, Joe. I guess if the pitch a little on the slow side.
Yeah, and probably well, he's not in form too, Brian.
Yes, yeah. Maybe that as well.
Yeah.
But Bradley Giddens, the new batter, another individual who can hit the ball around. His nickname Pollard.
As a matter of fact, well, he's my second cousin, Brian.
Oh, Joe. So we're in for a treat as Prosper bowls. So Pollard's first ball, he hammers it down to the man on the long off boundary, which is Jamal James. They pick up a single. And Pollard knows, Bradley Giddens alias Pollard knows just one way to play.
Yeah, Brian. It's just try and hit the ball all over the place.
Right. So it's Prosper into Polius. Polius is respectfully fouled. The ball rolls back along the track to Prosper. Is that the end of the fourth over for Prosper? 1 for 15 in the allotment of overs. Prosper 1 for 15. And Grosley continues to struggle. They're on 58 for 6 after 16 overs. 58 for 6 after 16 overs.
Yes, and these two out there right now will have to bat the rest of the overs in order to get a good score on the board.
Well, what do you think is a good score now, Joe?
130.
And Pollard chips down the wicket and swings this one down to backward square. And they're going for two as Tariq Gabriel runs around, picks up and fires in the return as they get 2 more runs. Takes the score on to 62. 60 for 6. 60 for 6. And Pollard, if he stays there for a couple of balls, Joe, we certainly will be in for a treat.
Yes.
As Morrison bowls it down the wicket, he goes and has a swing and misses. So somebody has to do it, and I think Bradley Giddens has put his hand up and said, okay, I'm going to take the bull by the horns.
Yeah, he's showing his intentions.
Showing
his
his
intentions
intention.
are very clear.
Intentions very clear. I'm going to put bat to ball. Let's see how successful he will be. So it's the cunning Jemai Morissette bowling to Pollard. He's down the behind. Oh, he's almost bowled there.
Slower delivery, Brian.
Slower delivery. Pollard was advancing, and slower delivery from Jemai Morissette, and Giddens missing this one and missing the stumps by a cat's whisker.
Probably if it wasn't the stumps, probably would have been bowled.
Right. So Morissette and Bradley Giddens in a bit of a tussle. Let's see who's going to win that battle. As Morissette bowls. So, short delivery there. This one had a bit of venom on it, and flooring Pollard there. Pollard looking to go for the big hit and realizing the ball getting big on him, flooring Pollard there.
Yeah, that's why I'm so impressed with this bowler, Morissette. He saw Pollard advancing down, and he just pitched that one shot and nearly cut his head off.
Yes, so Morissette using his head all the time, thinking, let's see what's going to happen this time. Morissette into Giddens, bowl, full in a block hole, and Giddens digs this one out. And what a good over this one is. A good over there by Morissette. Has Bradley Giddens thinking.
Yes, Brian. Yeah. That's a very good cricket out there.
Yes, so Grosley behind the, you were saying the 8th ball, Joe, but I'm thinking Grosley behind the 9th ball there. So it's Morissette bowling to Bradley Giddens. Bowls, slower one, the cutter there. This one was a lot slower, cutter there. And Giddens negotiating good enough, keeping it out, and survives to see another over. 60 for 6 after 17.
Yes, on the nights, I had all sorts of trouble, and Morissette bowling a high class over there. Mixing the deliveries, the Yorker, the slower one, the bouncer, and it was a very good over by this young man.
Yes, a good mix, yeah. A mixed bag, I would call it. Yeah. A mixed bag from Gemma and Polius. Short and wide, and Dalton Boy just cut this one into the cover region, and they're looking for 2. Yes, they're going to get 2 finally. They were consigning themselves to 1. But if Dylan John, the fielder on the attack there, 2 was always going to be on the cards.
Yes, he's a bit sloppy in his fielding, and he'll really have to work hard on his fielding.
Yes, one of the areas he has to work hard on. Junior again bowls short and cuts it into the cover point area where Wadwa picks up a no run. Like Prosperity he has been off the field for a pretty long time. So it's John Eugene wide again, and he's stumped. He's stumped with a wide delivery, but he stumped. This one deciding to have a go. He stepped out of the crease, trying to deposit this one out of the ground. It was a wide delivery. John L. Eugene pushed it wider and missing, and it was an easy stumping for keeper Nature.
Another ill-advised shot again by one of the batsmen, the Brazilianized batsmen, and this time it was the captain.
To the skipper, he had been batting for a pretty long time. Some 36 balls, and thought it probably was time to get a move on. We're into the 18th over, as it's John L. Eugene to Shelton Anno, another no-nonsense batsman. And he hits it, first ball, hits into the cover. Wadwa picks up, and they get a single. When I say Shelton Anno, a no-nonsense batsman, it doesn't mean that Shelton Anno is his role in the team is a batsman. He's a left arm seamer, but he's a low order, hard hitting low order
Yeah,
batter.
just like Pollard, just like
Yes,
Yeah.
Giddens, right.
Yeah.
So let's see what's going to happen. Jonah Eugene to Giddens, and Giddens respects this one. Short, and he just pushes it back along the track. I can tell you, Giddens is probably just itching to have a go.
Yeah, Brian. Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
So it's Jonah Eugene to Giddens. And he's bowled him! As I said, he's itching to have a go. This one was a lot slower. And Giddens aiming for the petals in the background. Missed and been bowled neck and crop.
I know he could not resist for too long, Brian. I know it was coming, that big hit. But he missed, and he was bowled, and another wicket going down for the Brazilian Knights, and they are in all sorts of trouble, Brian.
Yes,
I think they might get bowled and not scoring 100.
Yes, 64 for 8. Brazilian Knights in all sorts of trouble. 64 for 8. Bradley Giddens just been bowled, and the new batsman, Veron Preville. Who? Ooh, Lee Solomon. No. Veron Preville is a new batter. New batsman, as Jonah Eugene has picked up 2 wickets in the over so far. Bowl, and Preville just turns this one off. Hesitating, but at the end of the day, they picked up the single. Sheldon Arnold, recognizing it was the last ball in the over, was a little hesitant to go for the single, but every run counts. 65 for 8. Joe, the Grosley Knights continue to struggle.
Yes, and they are in all sorts of trouble, although there is a saying, runs on the board is runs on the board, but it will take a miracle for the Brazilian Knights to win this match, in my opinion, Brian.
Okay, yes, Joe, runs on the board is runs on the board. That's true. So it's Alvin Prosper taking up the attack now from the Players Pavilion end. Oh, sorry. Alvin Prosper bowling to Preville. Slow ball, slow delivery to start off. Hits it to mid wicket where it's picked up by Clovis. No run. A small crowd watching the first encounter as Prosper pulls, batsman pulls away. Preville pulls away. Alvin Prosper 5-5-6 on the back, bowls to and he's out. Preville, a slow delivery again, and all he did was just hand him catching practice there, Joe.
Yes, and the experience of Alvin Prosper was put into play there. Slower one, and Preville just knocking the ball back to the bowler as if he's catching practice. So, again, more trouble for the Brazilian Knights.
Yes, more trouble. Number 9. Wicket number 9 goes down. And the new batsman in. Simeon Gerson. Pencil size, Simeon Gerson is in. 65 for 9. So, Joe, at this point, what do you think would be a good score?
We are already in the 18th over, Brian?
Yes, Joe.
Yeah, so...
We're in the 19th over.
19th over.
So, small matter of 10 balls to go.
Yeah, so they must try and get around the regional 90 order.
Okay, so 90 runs. So you're looking at another 25 runs.
Yeah.
In the next 10 balls, to the last pair of the wicket.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you going to bet your house on this?
No, Brian, no, no.
Oh, okay. So, young Simeon Gerson is in the fine line now. So Alvin Prosper going round the wicket. Left-handed Gerson. Comes, bowls. And he strokes this one confidently out into the cover region. Picked up by Tariq Gabriel.
Well, he's a small man, but with a big hat, Brian.
Yes, yes. Wears his hat on his sleeve. So Alvin Prosper bowling to Gerson. Oh, he's beaten outside the off stump. I would think he just watched it through to the keeper, Joe.
No, Brian, he was beaten all ends up.
Oh. Okay, that is from your vantage point.
Yeah.
Okay, so important thing for the City Blasters, no run scored. 65 for 9. Joe is saying he thinks the Blasters can get up to 90. I'm saying 70. And he strokes it into the extra cover region. Picked up there by Clovis. 65 for 9. As we see the lights being turned on. A little older. And this one again beaten outside the off stump. And ends over number 19. And the first maiden over of the SPL just being informed by the senior scorer, Junior DeRose. Junior DeRose.
So it was a maiden wicket over, so yeah.
So the batting power play is being taken now. And the last over is being bowled by Johnny Eugene as we are greeted with artificial light. So the Captain Prosper just making some adjustments, final adjustments. And Shelton Anno is the man in strike. Anno might be looking to hit that somewhere in the region of the pitons. That might be his thinking.
Yeah.
But what it can happen, let us see. As John Eugene bowled. Oh my goodness! What shot was that? Anno was shaping up to hit this one to the onside, the ball spinning, and he allowed it to go through to the keeper. Eugene into Anno, bowl, and he swings at this one, and it's gone into the sides, into the long on fence for 6.
That was a good shot, and it was always on the card, you know, because he likes to hit the ball, and he got it in the right area, and he went if it over long on for 6.
Yes, he got it right in the slot there, and it hit the sweet spot of the bat as well.
Yes, Brian, good shot.
So 6 more to the total. It's 71. And he goes to swing at this one again, and no, appeal there from the keeper. I don't know what he's appealing for. But it's 71. 3 balls still to go. And he swings again. And he's swinging way too early. Way too early. So it's 2 balls left. So Joe was saying 90. I was saying 75. And it's a swing and a miss again.
And Johnny L. Eugene is outfoxing him out there.
Yes.
Using the slower ball all the time.
Yes.
And he's swinging too early.
Swinging too early. So it's John L. Eugene to Anno. He swings again and misses, and they go through for a leg by there. So that was the final ball in the over. 72 for 9 in the 20 overs. So the City Blasters containing the GROS Knights there. 72 for 9. So let's just do a quick wrap up there. The GROS Knights winning the toss and batting, and they lost Kimani Melius. He was caught. Stephen Natram bowl. Loic Prosper for 11. Dane Edwards, he made 1. Alex Antoine 1. Dalton Polius, he made 24. Owen Edwards, he made 14. Only 2 batsmen to 3 bats to 14. Chauvin Joseph, he made 1. Kurt Edwards 3. Bradley Giddens 3. Shelton Arno, he has not out on 7. Veron Preville, he made 1. And Simon Gerson, he was not out on naught. In terms of the bowling figures, Loic Prosper, he picked up 2 for 19. Dylan John 1 for 11. Alvin Prosper, he picked up 1 for 1. Jamal James, he bowled 1 ball, 2 runs. Aline Prosper 1 for 15. Jemai Morissette 1 for 11. And Jonel Eugene 2 for 11. So the City Blasters will be chasing 73 for victory. 73 for victory, and they have all of 20 overs to do that. So Joe, the City Blasters doing well to restrict the GROS Knights to 72 for 9.
Yes, Brian, they did well to restrict them, but in my opinion, the GROS Knights batsmen, they gave their wickets away. They did not play a responsible cricket, and so that's why they have found themselves in that trouble of 72 for 9. So they will have to go out there and bowl well, field well, catch well, in order to put a competitive edge to this game, Brian.
Yes, so as you also said earlier, Joe, runs on the board is runs on the board. So it's just left to be seen what sort of approach the GROS Knights will take. I guess they will be looking for early wickets, and that's the only way you get to get early wickets and try to make inroads as quickly as possible. But just to remind viewers that coming up after this game at 8 o'clock, it will be the Nagico South Castries Lions. The Lions will be coming into town tonight. They'll be playing against the Miku Trail Blazers. Miku Trail Blazers being led by Jamaica Talawa's Gary Masre, and Nagico South Castries Lions being led by St. Lucia Stars Johnson Charles. So,
but one last point, Brian, on the match. Sometimes in chasing small totals, you can be complacent and you can find yourself in trouble.
That too.
Yeah.
Chasing small totals is sometimes a little tricky. Yeah. So I'm thinking that GROS Knights are hoping that tonight's small total will be one of the tricky ones as well.
Yes, Brian.
So when we return in the next 10 minutes or so, you leave you with the scores that GROS Knights, they got to 72 for 9 of their 20 overs. The Avatar City Blasters will be needing 73 for victory when they come out to bat.
closing the night scoring 72 for 9 in the 20 overs. 72 for 9 in 20 overs.
But Darren, where you?
I'm at Bat Cave.
Darren, what you doing there? We have a competition. St. Lucia is the SPL T20 tournament. From September 15th to October 2nd. Cricket. Lovely St. Lucian cricket. Come see Darren Sammy's Avatar City Blasters, Johnson Charles's Nagico South Castries Lions, Dalton Polius's Crozile Knights, Craig Emanuel's Mabuya Valley Renegades, Gary Mathres Miku Trailblazers, Keddy Lesporus's Shockbox Viewfort South Sunrisers, Audie Alexander's Chozel Craft Masters, and Keitha Prosper's SRDF Soufre Pitons. On September 15th, 16th, 17th, we'll be at the Soufre Mini Stadium. September 19th and 20th will be Mabuya Playing Field. September 22nd, 23rd and 24th, Philip Masler Grounds in Viewfort. The semi-finals, September 29th at the Darren Sammy National Cricket Stadium. Third place and finals at the stadium as well. Get the full fixtures on the website www.splT20.net. It's all about the SPL T20 tournament.
That's all I'm hearing.
Don't miss it.
Buying property will most likely be the biggest investment you make. The biggest mistake you can make is not insuring it adequately. Protect your assets with solid insurance from Caribbean Alliance Insurance Company Limited. All properties covered by us are reinsured by companies with no less than an A security rating. We provide coverage for your home or business and their contents from damage by sudden or unexpected occurrences. You even have the option of protecting your personal possessions from loss or damage anywhere in the world. So don't let choosing the right property insurance company be a puzzling experience. You'll be glad you chose Caribbean Alliance Insurance Company. Tomorrow, secured.
Yes, play is about to resume at the Sufremini Stadium. GROS in the night batting first, scoring 72 for 9 in the 20 overs. We have the umpires, Johan Williams, John Maffrey, father and son.
Yeah, boy, yeah, boy.
I says cricket, lovely cricket right here at the Sufremini Stadium, witnessing GROS in the nights, taking on City Blast. Opening batting for City Blast, like I witness Gaspar Prosper and a crucial Tariq Gabriel. Opening the bowling for GROS in the night, Alex Arupa Antoine. Taking the first knock for GROS in for City Blasters, Gaspar Prosper, the current captain and the absent of Darren Sunny.
Welcome back to the Sufremini Stadium, where the Avatar City Blasters will be replying, and they are in search of 73 for victory. And that's game number 2 in the St. Lucia Premier League T20 competition. Last night the Craft Masters crafted their way to victory over the SRDF Soufre Pitons. So it'll be Alex Anton to open the bowling. He'll be bowling to Gaspar Prosper. This one spins away from the bat and taken by keeper Melius. Alex Antoine bowling to Gaspar Prosper. Prosper pushes forward and hides the bat between the pads there. Alex Antoine bowling to Casper Prosper. Short, and Prosper hammers this one, but down to the man on the long offense, who is Owen Edward. And they go through for a single. One without loss. So Joe, the Knights trying to probably utilize the spinners to see if they can make some early inroads into the
Yes, Brian, that's a good point by the captain to start the spin. As we all know, West Indians are not too good at playing the spin. So let's see what will happen from here on.
yes, so it's Alex Antoine and Tari Gabriel. Tari Gabriel, we taking strike. Oh, and this one is watchfully playing it back along the track. Tari Gabriel has also been in good form on the weekend. I think hits this one down to. Oh, this one goes just unsighted for a bit there. Gabriel is hitting this one down to long on, where it beats the fieldsman there and goes into the boundary for 4. So the score moves on to 5 without loss. And we're into the first over. Alex Antoine bowling to Tari Gabriel. And this one is back and just says this one into the cover region. Just backward of point where Sheldon Anno just runs around and picks up. Single to Gabriel. Takes the score to 6. 6 without loss at the end of the first over, Joe.
Yes, good over for the Avatar, the City Blasters team. 6 runs, and I think that's just about what they need, Brian, per over or less. And so they have all the time in the world to score that's 73 runs. And so let's see what fight the Brazilian Knights can put to that small total, Brian.
Yes, let's see if the Knights are going to just roll over and die, or whether they're going to put up a fight. Well, as the name said, they're the Grizzly Knights, so you're probably going to be taking out the swords and so on and putting up a fight.
Yeah.
Or will the avatars blast their way to victory?
We just have to wait and see, Brian.
Right. So it's going to be Anno from the Riverside Gym end. So the Blasters opening with Gaspar Prosper and Tari Gabriel. Both batsmen have been represented the St. Lucia senior team at the Windward Islands senior tournament. And Gabriel going a step further representing the Windward Islands senior team, Windward Volcanoes. Down the leg side on wide, signaled by umpire Mathray. And good take by standing keeper Kimani Melius. So the big match up next, the Najigos of Catches Lions, Joe, up against the Miku Trail Blazers.
Yes, it will be a very nice game. Brian and the crowd here will be treated to some very nice cricket.
As we see, Arno bowls full delivery, he works it off the pads. He's heading down to the boundary. The chase is being given there. They're running for a third run. They've been chased there, and 3 runs to the score. 3 runs to the score, taking the score up to 10. 10 without loss. Joe, another gift, full delivery, and Gabriel not capitalizing on this one.
Yeah, not capitalizing, but at least, well, he got 3.
Yes, a full delivery, hit low on the bat. It looked like it took the inner part of the bat. So, Captain Dalton Polius has his hands has his hands full.
Through their own fault.
Yes. So Arno, this time he'll bowl to the left-handed gas for Prosper. Prosper just dabs it out into the offside and calls Gabriel through for a quick single. Showing Joseph doing the fielding, can't prevent the run. 11 without loss.
Good sensible cricket by the batsman there, because the man was a bit close, but he played with soft hands, and so he had all the time in the world to go for a single.
Yes, and as you said, good sensible batting. There's no need to really go helter-skelter or blast the way through. Easy as Sunday morning. As this one from Arno has Gabriel in defense. No run.
It was a good delivery, bang on target, and Gabriel had no choice but to play defensively.
Maybe some sting. So Arno, when this one he hits it high, that's gone high up into this, and it's gone for,
I think it's 4. One bounce into
the fence. Empire's waiting for confirmation. It was 6 runs.
6 runs.
So Gabriel just lifted this one wide of the man at mid-on and getting 6.
Effortless shot by Gabriel. That's to show you that he's in very good nick. That was a very good shot. He played it effortlessly over long on.
As we speak, we see the arrival of the Nagico South Catches Lions, Joe.
Yeah.
This one, he works it down to, hits it down to the man on the long off boundary, and picking up a single is Gabriel, taking the score onto 17.
Yeah, so again, they are going about their business in a very responsible way, the two batsmen out there, and they're looking very good so far.
Okay, so Arno again bowling to Prosper, short, and he just pulls this one around through square leg down to the boundary. It goes for 4. Short delivery there from Sheldon Arno, and that's meat and drink for Gaspar Prosper. He just helped this one around and picks up 4, taking the score up to 21.
That was a very good shot, and the ball was there to be hit, and he hit it through backward square for 4. Now that's what the Brazilian Knights batsmen didn't do, because they got a lot of gifts and didn't capitalize on it. But Gaspar Prosper playing a very good shot, just rolling his wrist over it down to backward square for 4.
So Joe, are you saying that last delivery was a welcome gift there?
Yes, Brian.
Well, to someone like Gaspar Prosper, you would say it's a gift, because we all know Gaspar Prosper, anything short, he will be on the pole.
And it was not just short, it was short and down the legs.
Down the leg side, yes. So just helped it around.
Yeah.
In fact, in his earlier days, he was called the happy hooker. So it's Alex Antoine back into the attack to Gabriel. He's watchful back and just pushes it back along the track. 22 without loss. We into over number 3. Alex Antoine trying to see if he could make some inroads. Bowling to Gabriel, and he goes for this, tries to hit this one through mid-wicket. Succeeds in getting it just to the left of the man at square leg and down to the boundary for 4. A little dangerous there. Joe wasn't too far away from the man at short square.
Yeah, Brian, a bit dangerous. I mean, well, they don't have to take any risk, but he got away with it and he got 4.
Yes, so it's Alex Antoine against 2. Gabriel is back and cuts this one into the outside. Can't beat the fieldsman there, who is Arno. But that too, Joe should have been given the proper treatment.
Yeah, well, he tried to hit it, but too hard, Brian.
Yes, try to hit the cover of the ball there.
Yeah.
So it's Alex Antoine not bowling too well. Oh, this one hit. That's gone for 6. Yes, he picked this one up, just floated outside your something, just picked it up and deposited it over mid wicket for 6.
So Gabriel, when he's showing his form, he's showing the form that he has because he scored a century last weekend, and now he's trying to tour the ball in a part here but tonight. But he's looking very good. He's playing sensible cricket. When the ball is there to defend, well, he defends, and when it's loose, he bangs it away. So good batting.
Yes, and as you said, he's just dispatching the bad deliveries. And we know Tariq Gabriel, he can be a very destructive batsman at this form of the game.
Yeah, he has a lot of talent, Ryan, no doubt about it.
He's also part of the United Islands Volcanoes, preparing for the 4-day tournament. And this one he hits it again, and he's dropped him! He's dropped him this time. Gabriel trying to repeat the last shot, not getting it in the meat of the bat. Hit it down to Owen Edward at long on, and he spilled the catch, Joe.
And I cannot understand that because they didn't score a lot of runs and they got an opportunity to get the batsman out and he dropped the catch. So they are putting themselves in a position that, it is not very good at all.
Well, Joe, no one enjoys dropping a catch, so I can imagine how Owen Edward is feeling at this point in time.
Yeah, that's true anyway. Yeah.
So it's Alex Antoine. He'll be bowling to Gaspar Prosper. And this one is right up to the bat, and Prosper playing over this one, and just going to the keeper. No run. 33 after over number 3, and it seems the Blasters are cantering to victory, Joe.
Yes, Brian, so 73 runs is not a big total, and already in the 3 overs they're already 43, so I think they will be in with an early win, Brian.
Yes, so probably a well-needed rest there if it finishes before time, Joe.
Yes, Brian, no doubt about it.
I'm sure you'll be happy to go and bend your left elbow. I'm sure it's not going to be bowling in the net to the South Catches line. So it's going to be Prayville to take up the attack, is it? From Siobhan Joseph to take up the attack from the Riverside Gym end. So skipper Polius ringing the changes, trying to see how he can get among the Blasters lineup. Among the pigeons. A small crowd tonight.
But it's building all the time, Brian. Yeah.
Maybe the person's waiting for the next game, as Joseph bowls down the leg side, and it's a wide. First ball angled down the leg side, and Gabriel was hopping on one foot, trying to work it behind square, but not making any contact. Umpire John Matthews signaling wide.
The indiscipline continuing, but to show, Brian, they didn't bat well, and now they are not bowling well.
Okay, so it's Siobhan Joseph in again, bowl shot. Oh, this one, Gabriel trying to feather this one between the keeper and the short third man. But Owen Edward just ran around to his left and he stopping the ball. No run. As it's Joseph again, this one making a little height, and Gabriel just turns it off the hip, picks up a single. Simeon Gerson ran around to his left and picking up one more run to the total, 35 without loss. I mean, to over number 4. Don't forget the Blasters are chasing 73 runs for victory. Siobhan Joseph from the Riverside Gym end, bowling to Gasper Prospect short, and he pulls this one around. He's going to, oh, not reaching the fields on the square leg boundary there. Prospect almost playing into the hands of the bowler there, Joe. Short, and Prospect into the pole. One bounce to the man on the boundary, which Kurt Edwards, almost falling in the trap there.
Yeah, Brian, but one thing, when you are deep on the boundary, well, you make a little step in when the bowler is coming in. But he didn't do that.
Yes, this one he just puts the left leg down and just whips it off of the path there. Down to the boundary it goes. 4 more runs to Terry Gabriel.
And he's looking in very good form.
Yes.
Whipped that off his pads, and that went down to the backward square leg boundary in a flash.
Yes, and that's the price you pay when you put down such put down a batsman in the class of Terry Gabriel.
Yeah,
40 without loss.
Catches win matches.
The old adage. As Joseph again to Gabriel. Gabriel just taps this one out onto the leg side and scampers off for a single. Good understanding between the two. And at the end, no danger. 41 without loss.
The City Blasters, they are playing like a professional team, Brian.
Well, Joe, it's a professional tournament, so
yes,
we expect the team to be playing like professionals.
But
so
not the Brazilian Knights, though.
So as we see this one outside, you have some prospect trying to hammer it off the back foot, not making any contact, and go through to keeper Melius. Well, Joe, it's the first game, so probably the Knights a bit of jitters. Also, one thing about the Knights, playing away from home, maybe not able to settle down as they should have. So first match jitters.
Well, let's hope that
Batting
Brian
power play being taken. Yeah. Yep. Go, Joe.
Yeah, so let's hope that they will play better in the next match. But what I've seen but today is not good at all.
Okay, so some teams well, as a sports person, Joe, you would know that you have your off day. So today is probably the Knights' off day.
Let's hope that.
So it's young Simeon Gerson into the attack now, and he'll be bowling from the players' pavilion end. Young Gerson, the captain of the Winwood's youth team. So some adjustments being made by the captain, Polius. But with a score of 72, there's not much you can do but hope for a miracle.
Yes, Brian. Well, all the problem they have now, they cause it but for themselves. So they have only themselves to be blamed. Yeah.
So it's young Gerson, seeing whether he can work some magic, pull a couple of rabbits out of the hat. He may have put quite a few out of the hat. So he's bowling round the wicket, left arm, and he bowls to Gabriel. Oh, and this one spins away. Gabriel was winding up a big hit, as this one just spun away from him.
Yeah, good first ball by the young man. Yeah.
Right. Remind me a bit of you, Joe, the left armers.
Oh yes, Brian, but no doubt.
As Simeon Gerson, has Terry Gabriel watching. Just plays one back along the track. Gerson again, Simeon Gerson into Terry Gabriel. Down the track he goes. Is it straight down, and good bit of fielding there by Owen Edward. Good bit of fielding there by Owen Edward. 1 run. Taking the score up to 42 without loss. And we're into over number 5. Terry Gabriel, he's on 33 of 20 deliveries. 19 deliveries. Wilson will be bowling to Gasper Prosper now. Old Prosper runs forward, respectfully forward. No run. And Gerson bringing a bit of respect to the bowling there, Joe.
Yeah, he's a very good bowler, Brian.
Gerson bowl. Prospect
Oh,
down
my
the
God,
track.
yeah.
I spoke too soon. Spoke too soon. Prospect 2 steps and hit this one over the players' pavilion. 6 runs. Much to the delight of the small crowd here at the Super Mini Stadium. Gerson tossing this one up and Prospect 2 steps down and hitting it over the players' pavilion into the car park. 6 runs.
Oh, that was a gem of a shot. Ball tossed up. He used his feet very well. Got to the pitch and hit it high and hard over long on for 6.
Yes,
magnificent shot.
Yes, and we all know of the exploits of Gaspar Prospect and his more in the days when he had the cricket at heart. He scored many runs, devastated many a bowling lineup. But now I guess he's in the twilight of his years. But he's still showing that he has it.
Yeah, but that shot will bring back memories, Brian.
Yes,
it was a great shot.
I'm sure it would.
Yeah.
So it's 48 without loss. I mean, to over number 5. I'm sure young Gerson will not be daunted.
Well, he's a fighter.
Well, Joe, as spinners, we have to be fighters.
Yeah.
So it's Gerson bowling to Prospect. Dongle track in he goes and belts this one down. 4 runs! 4 more runs. Gerson tosses this one up outside the awesome and Prospect was down the wicket after him, driving this one through long off for 4. The man on the long off boundary there looks like Alex Antoine was trying his best to cut it off, but couldn't get it wrong in time. And 4 more runs to Prospect, and that brings up the 54, the City Blasters.
Yes, Brian, another switch shot again. Ball tossed up and it came down and drove beautifully between cover and extra cover down to the boundary for 4. And poor young Gerson is being put to the sword.
Yes, young Gerson, baptism there. So it's the end of the over. It's 52 without loss after 5 overs.
And the Avatar the City Blasters, they're blasting their way to that small total. And in just 5 overs, Brian, you said?
It's 5 overs.
Yeah,
so
5 overs, they're already 52 runs. And so they are really putting the mark on this game, Brian.
Yes. Doing some blasting is the Avatar City Blasters. And Captain Dalton Polius still trying to see if he could pull some trick out of the bag. Joe, what would you suggest would be the approach of Captain Polius at this point?
Well, Brian, well, he has no choice but try and take wickets. But to me, he should have started with spin at both ends.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Siobhan Joseph, a medium pacer up from the far end, tries to hit this one just short, and Gabriel trying to whip this one through the onside, coming off the body. No run, 52 without loss, into over number 6.
Because it's impossible to defend 72 runs. You have to take wickets.
Well, I heard a story one time where scored to my right, Junior De Rose, where his team had to defend 50. And they did that successfully.
Wow.
And when it's short and he hammers it straight through extra cover, and the man on the long off boundary having to run around to his left and restricted just to 1 run. As we see the crowd starting to file in, ready for the next game. It's 53 without loss. 53 without loss. Gaspar Prosper in strike. Siobhan Joseph, the bowler. Yes, the Nagico Lions are in the house. You could hear them roaring from miles away. As Jojo bowls and Prosper back and plays it all. Beats the man at backward point, is heading down to the boundary. Gerson is giving chase. They take one, they come back for the second. And they take 3 runs. So it was Prosper hitting this one to the left of Gerson. And Gerson doing some running back, and the batsman helping himself to 3 runs. So Prosper moves on to 20. Gabriel is on 34. As short, and he pulls this one over. Oh, that's 6 runs. 6 runs there. This one short from Joseph, and Gabriel off the back foot, pulling this one over the man at mid-on into the long-on fence for 6.
That is a shot of a batsman in real good form, because it was a short ball and he just went back and punched it over long on for 6. That was a magnificent shot.
Yes, and it's Joseph again to Gabriel, and Gabriel tries to hammer it through the onside. Beats Pollard at mid-on, but they'll only settle for 1. Gabriel moves on to 41. Gabriel on 41 and Gaspar Prosper on 20. The score 68 without loss. 63 without loss. There are 10 runs for victory. Short, and Prosper pulls this one too long on, and a good stop there by the man. No, for a moment I thought it was a good stop there, but it rolled into the boundary. So 4 more runs to the total, taking it to 67. I'm taking Prosper to 24.
Yes, and again, the Brazilian Knights being put to the sword, boundaries after boundaries, and the small total is coming smaller and smaller.
Yes, well, the total is almost wiped out. 67 without loss. So, as we said, the Trailblazers have found their trail to the ground, while the Lions have been rowing all the way to the mini stadium. So, in a while, the two will be tussling. Gary Mathrez Blazers and Johnson Charles's Lions.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be an exciting match between these two teams, Brian.
Yes, everybody anticipating that. And it's the captain taking the ball there, is it? Yes, it's Captain Polius with 6 runs to go. He's interested in his first ball. Just over the man at cover point, and he's running down to the backward point boundary. Gets there. Now, does it? We'll have to wait and see. Nope. So good bit of work there by Sheldon Arno. Saving 1. So 3 runs, taking the score to 68 without loss. Polius to Prosper, and he goes for the sweep. Seems to have come off the glove there. Yes, off the glove. He's wringing the hand there, and they pick up a single. 69 without loss. So it's skipper Polius 4 runs left, he bowls and Gabriel back and just stabs it out in front of him. No run. Keeper Polius picks up. And will we finish off in as he bowls and he's down the wicket, he's stumped. That was on the cards, I must say. In typical West Indian fashion, Gabriel trying to finish it up in one go, missed and is stumped.
Yes, although he played well, but to me, he gave his wicket away. No need for that, because you're well in control.
Yes, and Joe, it's a typical West Indian fashion.
Yeah.
And Gabriel just putting a little little damper on the innings there. Good inning.
Yeah.
But that dismissal just taking a little away from it, Joe.
Yes, Brian. A bad shot, and so the new batsman is another century maker last weekend. The wicket keeper, but Stephen Natram. And so I think the last rites will be conducted out there.
Yes, so we're about to receive the last rites there. Who is going to put the final nail in the coffin? Stephen Gabriel is in. Will we see another? Stephen Natram is in. Will we see another? I think Stephen Gabriel is my workmate at DBS. Yeah, so he's a footballer in sport, former footballer for the Pave team in Marsha. Speaking of the cricketer, Stephen Natram now. So in comes Polius bowls to Natram, and he pulls this one around, and that's the end. And that's what we were talking about, Joe.
Yes.
In true West Indian fashion, so short from Dalton Polius, Natram on the back foot and pulling it through square leg and getting 4 and victory for the City Blasters. So 73 for 1, a win by 9 wickets for the Blasters to get their campaign on the way. So Joe, as we said, 72 was never going to be a challenging total for the Blasters in a T20. 72 runs was really inadequate.
Yeah, it was a below par total, and they paid the price, and the Blasters winning in great fashion. So they will have themselves to be blamed for not batting well and scoring just only to 73. So they will have to get back to the drawing board and see if they can do better in the second match.
Yes, as you said, the Knights have only themselves to blame. They did not bat well enough, and they backed it up by not bowling well enough as well.
Yeah.
And they were their own worst enemies. So we will just wrap up here, Joe. To start off, the Knights winning the toss and choosing to bat got to 72 for 9 in their 20 overs, and when the Blasters batted, they got to 73 for 1. Gaspar Prosser, he has not out at the end on 25. Tyre Gabriel, he was stumped. Wicketkeeper Kimani Melius, bowl Dalton Polius for 42, and Stephen Natram with 1 ball to face. The only ball he faced, hit it for 4. He was not out on 4. So the only successful bowler was Dalton Polius, who picked up 1 wicket. So the Avatar City Blasters winning by some 9 wickets. So we get ready for the presentation, and also
Every first one, c'est un tonique. Non, papa, moi, c'est Big up Allen Prosper, man. Big up Hafiz, the great Ali. Big up Joel Hadim. Hafiz, man. Yes! He's about cricket like the cricket right there at the Suffolk Mini Stadium. We just witnessing South City plays a passing over GROS Nights.
One, two with the mic. Can you hear me, Vidas? Vidas, 1, 2, 1, 2.
You got your sister is your auntie. Well, check it out, cause I'm waiting you be. You are not a set from. Them feel your back. You are not done with the one a plaster. You can't drink soup without a double pumper. Hey, tomato, put monka, but block. Your father and Donny could have been gully, but no food or water. Listen, she left matter. That's why your mama give you a stepfather.
when they touch the toe, and they bend down real low. So we tell them, DJ Pro style go make them touch your ankle. Oh yo! You got no mind already. You feel ready? DJ Pro style go make them touch your ankle. When you touch your ankle, and you bend down real low, so we tell them touch your ankle. Come here, when you touch your when you see a big truck, and I so I don't mind if I take a flap. Lift it up and jump it up, go. That be strong, go at the front. Productions. Play by là, n'a pas c'est tout caille là, n'a pas tout tapis là, tout couche là, tout chef là, il faut en play by là, n'a pas c'est tout caille là, n'a pas tout tapis là, tout couche là, tout chef là, déroulez ça, roulez ça coach up to
Yeah, they will fix it in a while. You ready? You are in the mic.
Okay, we're here with Dalton Polius, the captain of the GROS Night. Dalton, your first game of the SPL, not ending in a good result for you. What are your thoughts?
I thought we didn't bat well. I thought even though the pitch was a bit on the damp side, But I thought our blasting should apply themselves a little more. Because first, before the game started, we were looking for 140, and we saw the game last night, 140 or defendable total. But I just don't think that we lost wickets in clusters. And again, we didn't turn over the striker as well as we should have. So I thought that we lost the game batting. Okay,
so looking at the pitch, what are your thoughts on the pitch?
Well, first, as I say, side on the damp side, and then the single look assist balls utilize that really well, going a lot back, or the balls back of a length, which will make it a lot more difficult, and there was more space on the ball to work with. So I thought they utilized the pitch very well. It was a damp pitch, and again, the pitch got dry, and the dew factor, I think, got the ball came one of the nice in the second inning. So maybe in hindsight, winning the toss, we should have maybe bowled first, but again, I said we should apply ourselves a little better in the bat.
Okay, with 2 more games to go in the tournament, what are some of the changes you think you would have to effect for your team?
Well, as I said, we got to go back to basics, you know. During our practice sessions this week, we have to really do some drills on just rotating the strike a lot more better and playing the situation a lot better. Maybe we might have a few more changes according to the conditions of the game, but we can't say. But we just have to go back to basics and just put a better show next time.
Okay, well, all the best in your next games to come.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so we just witnessed the end of the game between the GROS Knights and the Avatar City Blasters. The City Blasters winning by 9 wickets, and the City Blasters, you know, is without their standing captain Darren Sami. He's on his way back from Pakistan, but the standing captain for the game so far is Gabriel Prosper, and we're here with Gabriel Prosper. Gabriel, City Blasters starting off on a winning note.
Yes, we had some very good practice coming up to this tournament. All our guys, they know each other. We practice together, and we came here with one plan today to play our style and enjoy our game. Even if the wicket was not the best, it was a bit slow, but we came out here to just execute. And we had one plan to go after it and to keep them down, because they only scored a 72, and we said, like, we're not going to go out there and let them walk us down. And because it's a small total, take 1s and 2s. Nah, we said we're going to go after it from ball 1.
Okay, why do you think that your team won the game?
Well, we had some great fielding. Guys sticking to the plan, wicket to wicket, not bringing the ball right up to the batsmen, pulling it back, the pacers, good variation, and line and length. And we took our catches today. That was very good.
Well, you have 2 more games left in the tournament. I want to wish you all the best.
Thank you.
So we just heard from Gabriel Prosper, the standing captain of the Avatar City Blasters. City Blasters coming in with their first win for the tournament, game number 2. Last night we saw the Craft Masters defeating the SRDF Sufe Peters by some 12 runs. So the City Blasters now having the next victory on the cards, having just defeated the GROS Knights. We await the man of the match for today's game. Like Prosper has been judged the man of the match for his 2 for 19 of his 4 overs. Like Prosper starting the slide for the GROS Knights, having dismissed 2 of the main batters in Melius and Edwards early in the top of the order, and really pegging back the GROS Knights. So, first of all, congratulations on your being a judge man of the match, and what were your thoughts on being a judge man of the match?
Well, thank you very much for your congratulations. And then, the wicket was a bit slow. So just try to bowl in the right areas and let the batters make the mistake.
So do you think had the GROS Knights captain indicated the pitch was a little damp? Do you think had the pitch been a lot drier that the result could have been different?
Dry or damp, you just have to bowl in the right areas. Just keep it back of a length, not too close to the batters. Anything closer will probably go after it. So that was the plan from the time that we had our meeting, was just keep back of the length balls. So and that's what we did.
Well, I know it is said that you're sticking for work, so with 2 more matches to go, do you see you changing anything to your game?
Basically, it's the same thing. Viewfort, wicket. Our next game is in Viewfort. Wicket is basically the same. So during the course of the week, we'll probably just keep working on this.
Okay, well, so congratulations and all the best in the next 2 games.
Yeah, thanks.
So we've just seen like Prosper receiving his award for the man of the match. Like Prosper picking up 2 for 19 of his 4 overs, really starting the slide for the GROS Knights. They were restricted to 72 for 9 of the allotted 20 overs. So the City Blasters winning by some 9 wickets. So game number 2 completed. This Avatar City Blasters winning by 9 wickets as we prepare for game number 3 in the Senator Premier League T20, where the Najikos of Catches Lions, they take on the Miku Trail Blazers.
But Darren, where you?
I'm at Bat Cave.
Darren, what you doing there? We have a competition. St. Lucia is the SPL T20 tournament from September 15th to October 2nd. Cricket, lovely St. Lucian cricket. Come see Darren Sammy's Avatar City Blasters, Johnson Charles's Najiko South Castries Lions, Dalton Polius's GROS Knights, Craig Emmanuel's Mabuya Valley Renegades, Gary Mathrez Miku Trailblazers, Keddy Lesporus's Shopbox Viewfort South Sunrisers, Audie Alexander's Chozel Craft Masters, and Keitha Prosper's SRDF Soufre Pitons. On September 15th, 16th, 17th, we'll be at the Soufre Mini Stadium. September 19th and 20th will be Mabuya Playing Field. September 22nd, 23rd and 24th, Philip Masley Grounds in Viewfort. The semi-finals, September 29th at the Darren Sammy National Cricket Stadium. Third place and finals at the stadium as well. Get the full fixtures on the website www.splT20.net. It's all about the SPL T20 tournament.
That's all I'm hearing.
Don't miss it.